So
So,
I don't know about you guys. I remember going to sudden deaths on the road. And do you remember like
Mm-hmm.
going to sudden deaths? And it
Mm-hmm.
sucks. You got to
Yeah.
call either the medics or like the nurse to come and do a pronouncement. Got to coordinate with the like you're sitting there for, an hour or two and the dead person's just laying there. And it's like, and I remember I went to a sudden death and it was the woman. She was like 93, 94 on cancer. I remember it was the guy was going to start CPR. I'm like, dude, she's dead. I go, give her some dignity. Let's just. So we had to go through the whole rigmarole, and then the hospice nurse comes, and I remember she's like, oh, when you're on hospice, when someone's on hospice, they don't call. We don't have to call the police. We take care of everything. And you do. This happens even if I learned this after Lucy died. Even if the nurse is not there. So I was adamant about getting hospice. I'm like, because we were not going to let Lucy die in the hospital. She would fucking haunt us for the rest of our lives. It was going to be here, and I did not want the fucking PD coming. And because bro, just think about when you guys were on the road. Do you really want to go to a fucking 9-year-old kid? Like, no, um and we all been there on calls where like the fucking dude, I'm not happy being here. You don't. I understand you're hurting, but you don't have to be. And that was the thing. I was never like a fucking jerk to people. Like I was always nice to the doctors, the nurses, and everything. Because they see this all the time, and shit. But that's why. So that's why I was adamant about hospice. So we started doing hospice. I'm bouncing around a little bit. So
Okay.
that's okay.
we
I
started.
wanted, I do want to go back when you said, okay, Jamie calls you and says it's not good. And you guys don't, you make the choice at that point as the parents to not tell Lucy how bad it is, but
Yeah, yeah,
what
no.
is the conversation?
We never said,
No.
we told her it was there, but we never said that you were going to die.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
was that something you and Jimmy talked about? Like you were
Yes,
not
that's
going
what I
to
was
do
going to
that?
say.
Yeah, I don't know. There was like a lot of things we didn't talk about that we just knew. Like I remember like the Friday before Lucy died, the hospice nurse and the social worker was here. And, we're sitting at the kitchen table, the dining room table. And, they're like, well, what do you want to do with her body? And Jamie and I just looked at each other and we're like, well, we're gonna have her cremated. That's it. Like, I mean, it's the most fucking surreal thing in the world that your kids. I think she was upstairs or in the room over, and you're talking about your kid who's still alive there at the point. What you're gonna do with their body, where you have to decide what you want to do. So I want to go on to like after like Lucy died in a little bit too. So, but if you guys have
Sure.
questions, just interrupt.
Yeah.
So